Namaste and welcome to this wintertime yin yoga class, where today we will be exploring the water element, which is most associated with the wintertime. The poses all focus on the kidney and bladder meridian lines, those organ systems in the body, so we'll be opening up into those energetic channels. But before we begin, I invite you to make sure you have your props with you. So if you have a bolster, then go ahead and grab that. Some blocks if you have those. If not, that's okay. Some pillows from your bed or some cushions are also really great props. And I also invite you to grab a blanket and fold it up because it's quite nice to sit on and support us in our practice. I just wanted to go over the 3 principles for our yin yoga practice. So the first one is that we come into and meet our appropriate edge. So not being pushy or forceful, trying to find the deepest expression possible. We're just coming into the pose where we start to feel something and then stopping there. The second principle is that we hold in stillness. So it doesn't mean that you can't move, especially if you're feeling any pain sensations or burning or tingling sensations. That's your body asking you to either come out of the pose entirely or support yourself differently using your props. It just simply means we're staying away from fidgeting. And the third principle is that we hold for a certain length of time. So today we'll be aiming for about 3.5 minutes per pose. So I invite you to come into your comfortable seat using any props to help you sit up nice and tall. Allow the sit bones to ground down into the earth. Now you might be sitting with your legs crossed, or you might be sitting with your legs folded underneath you. You might be sitting on a cushion or on a block. All are fine. Just inviting you to sit up nice and tall, but also finding some ease and relaxation in the body. When you're ready, closing the eyes if you feel safe and comfortable to do so. Otherwise, I invite you to soften your gaze. And let's take 3 breaths together, inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling out of the mouth. Twice more, deep breath in, long breath out. Let's make this final breath the deepest breath you've taken all day, really filling up all 4 corners of the lungs. And as you exhale, maybe giving a sigh, letting something go. So I invite you to let go of anything that's happened before this practice. Let go of any to-do list that might be waiting for you on the other side. And give yourself permission to focus only on you, on your body, on your breath, making yourself a priority for the next 30 minutes. Thanking yourself for showing up and taking care of you. Take one last breath here. And when you're ready, we'll blink open the eyes. And we'll begin with a short warm-up. So if you want to stay with your legs crossed, that's fine. When we come into a forward fold, you'll bring your hands to the ground and bow your head. Otherwise, you can come into folded legs. So when we fold forward, you can access a child's pose. Let's begin with our arms alongside the body, the fingertips tapping the ground. As you inhale, we're going to lift the arms, lift the gaze up in between the hands, and exhale the hands to the shoulders and out to the sides as you drop your chin towards your chest. Inhaling the hands back to the shoulders, rolling them down away from the ears as you lift your gaze. And as you exhale, rounding the spine, pushing the hands away, dropping chin towards chest. Inhale to lift the arms, the body and the gaze. And exhale, coming forward into your fold. We'll take one cycle of breath here. And we'll flow twice more. Inhale to lift the body, lift the arms and the gaze. Exhale, hands to shoulders, pushing them out to the sides, chin towards your chest. Inhaling the hands back to the shoulders, rolling away from the ears as you open up across the chest. And exhale, rounding the body, pushing the hands away. Inhale to lift the body, the arms and gaze. And exhale, returning to your forward fold. One cycle of breath. Flowing one last time. Inhale to lift the body, arms and gaze. Exhale, hands to shoulders and out to the sides, chin towards chest. Inhaling, hands back to the shoulders, lifting the gaze, opening the heart. And exhale, rounding the shoulders, pushing the hands away. Inhale to lift the body, arms and gaze. And exhale, folding forward. 3 cycles of breath here. Awesome. At the end of your last breath, slowly sitting yourself up, and I will demonstrate for you our first pose, which is going to be caterpillar. So for caterpillar, you might like to sit on the edge of a folded blanket. This helps you kind of lift and tilt your hips, making the forward fold feel a bit more yummy. You might also like to fold your blanket, put it underneath your knees. And you might like to sit up to begin with, or over time you might like to fold forward. Now we're not actively grabbing our feet and pulling ourselves deeper, because remember, we are going to be here for a few minutes. So you're just coming into the shape where you start to feel something. You might also use some pillows to lay over your legs. You might stack the hands and rest your forehead upon them. So there are lots of options for you to choose. I'll allow you to get settled in. If I just grab my timer for 3.5 minutes. So when you feel settled into your caterpillar, I invite you to close your eyes, maybe tucking your chin slightly so you feel length in the back of your neck. Your head bowing slightly. Drawing your awareness to your breath. Meeting your body where it's at today. Over time, as you soften and feel into the shape, you might find that your body naturally wants to fold forward some more. Or you might find the opposite thing happening, that you want to come out of the shape, and that's fine too. So the winter time is when we feel the most introverted. It's the most yin of all the seasons. It's a time of contemplation, time of rest. And we feel less like going out and more like being at home, perhaps snuggling up on the sofa. Our energy is drawing down and in. We're just over halfway in the holding of this shape. And I invite you to draw your awareness into the back of your body. Where can you feel this shape? where can you feel any sensations? Maybe running along your spine or across your lower back. Maybe down the backs of the legs. Maybe even the soles of the feet. Last 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd breath, we're slowly going to sit ourselves up. We'll remove any props from on our legs. Maybe leaning back on the hands. Again, option to close your eyes. This is called a rebound. So we'll always take a few moments in between the poses, just to allow that stress to integrate. Our body can feel quite fragile afterwards, so we don't want to rush into the next shape. If you feel like you'd like some gentle movement, you might like to windshield wiper the feet. You might like to puff up the chest. Now I'm going to demonstrate our next pose, which is butterfly. So for our butterfly, again, you might like to sit up on the edge of a folded blanket. We're going to bend our knees and bring the soles of our feet together and allow the knees to lower out to the sides. Now, if you're feeling any sensations in your knees, any pain or like stabbing pains, then obviously we don't want that. Might be an idea to lift your hips, maybe fold the blanket a little bit so it's a bit thicker. Another option is to use cushions or pillows as well underneath your knees to support them there. Again, you might like to sit up for this shape, sitting here or folding forward over time. If you have a bolster or any other props, you might hug them like so, or use them to bring the ground up to you, help you in your forward fold, and again, stacking if you need to. So there's lots of options for your butterfly. I invite you to start getting settled into the shape. So the soles of the feet are together, the knees have lowered away from one another. Again, closing your eyes, option to fold forward. And as we're beginning to work into the hips, you might like to bring a deeper breath here. You might like to send that breath down into your belly. Maybe your breath sounds a bit more audible. And it's said in wintertime, during this contemplation of the winter phase, that there can be the planting of seeds. As these seeds are planted and contemplated upon, they'll begin to sprout in the next phase, in the new season of spring. This cultivation time is when we can really nourish ourselves with self-care. We're just over halfway. I invite you to soften the skin of your face, softening the forehead and temples. If you find yourself frowning, it might be a sign that you're being pushy and forceful. Maybe you've gone beyond your edge. It's just a gentle reminder to meet yourself where you're at today. It's more about how you feel in the posture, not what the posture looks like itself. As your eyes are closed, I invite you to notice whether you're squinting. See if you can relax all those muscles around the eyes. Are you clenching in your jaw, or can you allow it to drop and soften? Last 3 breaths. Good. At the end of your 3rd breath, just like you did before, slowly sitting yourself upright. We'll remove a prop if there's one out in front of you. You might like to take your knees with your hands and bring your knees together. Option to stay here, hugging your knees, or you might like to send your legs out long. Again, option to lean back on your hands. Again, noticing the sensations in and around your hips. Maybe they feel a bit more open and spacious. If you like some gentle movement, you can go ahead and take some now. Maybe windshield wipering the feet, or if you need a bit more, maybe bringing the feet to the ground and lowering knees from side to side. Our next pose is Sphinx. So for Sphinx, in a moment, I'll invite you to lay on your front. Now when you lay on your front, if you feel like your hip bones might press into the ground, then I invite you to use your folded blanket to lay upon. You lay on your belly, and the legs can be whichever distance apart that feels right for you. We're coming onto the forearms, so the elbows are bent. The elbows are roughly underneath the shoulders, or maybe just a little bit in front. Now this might feel enough for you. You're feeling a back bend in the spine. If this feels like a bit too much, then by all means come down to stack the hands and rest the back of your head. So you'll still be feeling something here, or you can roll up a blanket and bring it just underneath here. So you've got like a happy medium. If you're here in Sphinx and you really can't feel much, there's not really any sensations going on in your back, then you might bring your forearms onto a prop. That is our Sphinx pose. I invite you to come and lay down on your front, setting yourself up. If over time your head feels like quite heavy to keep upright, then by all means you can use a prop to rest your head upon. Again, as we settle in, closing the eyes, and using your breath to find some comfort. To find some stillness. And to begin to surrender. I mentioned at the beginning of this class the kidney meridian line. According to traditional Chinese medicine, the kidneys house what is called Jing Qi. And that Jing Qi is our vital life force energy. It's what keeps us vibrant, gives us our vitality. And it's said that we are born with a finite amount, so we don't want to keep dipping into those reserves. It's like having a savings account. You want to make sure you're topping it up. So you don't want to deplete it. So as mentioned earlier, nourishing ourselves in the winter with self-care. Self-care is how we recharge, replenish, reset. Self-care can look like yoga, meditation, relaxing your nervous system. It's also getting more sleep and managing your stress more effectively. We are into our final minute. Last 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd breath, you're going to walk the elbows slowly forward so that we begin to lay down on our front. You're going to stack the hands and turn your gaze so you're looking towards the right. We're going to send our right knee out to the side slightly so it's bending. Closing the eyes here, taking a couple of breaths. Then we'll straighten the right leg. We'll turn the gaze so we're looking to our left. We'll bend the left knee, bringing it out to the side. You're feeling a nice, gentle counter stretch here for our back after that hyperextension. Beautiful. Let's make our way up to sitting so that I can demonstrate for you our final posture before Shavasana. Legs up the wall. So if you are nearby a wall, by all means, bring your legs up against the wall. Another nice option is to, so you'd lay on your back to put your legs up the wall. You might lay on your back and bring a cushion or blanket pillow underneath your hips, and we'll lift our legs into the air. You might need to wriggle that about a bit so your legs will feel nice and floaty. Another option is to bring your calves onto a chair or maybe onto your bed if you're upstairs. So that is our legs up the wall, a classic yin posture. I invite you to lay down on the ground if you're not already there and send your legs up. Close your eyes and allow your hands and arms to rest wherever feels most comfortable. It shouldn't feel like we are requiring much effort here. The legs should feel nice and floaty and light. I invite you to drop your shoulders away from your ears. And feel that your back melting into the surface beneath you. Drawing your awareness to your breath. Maybe beginning to notice how with so much stillness in the body, cultivated stillness in the mind and stillness in the breath. Maybe you've noticed the pauses becoming longer. A window into nothingness. Last 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd breath, slowly making your way out of legs up the wall, bringing the soles of the feet to the ground, maybe removing your prop from beneath you. Pausing here for a couple of breaths. Again, noticing any sensations. Maybe some tingling of the legs. Maybe some coolness of the lower back. Awesome. When you're ready, I invite you to set up for Shavasana. So I'm going to bring my blanket underneath my head. There's a pillow. You might like to cover yourself over. Your legs might be extended out long. I always like to bend my knees, bring the soles of my feet to the edge of the mat. Allow my knees to come together. Relaxing your hands on your belly, by your sides, whatever feels right for you. I invite you to get nice and comfy here. Allow your head to rest into the surface beneath you. Maybe it's on a prop. Facial muscles to relax. Your shoulders to drop and soften. Maybe snuggling your shoulder blades underneath your heart space. Allowing your arms to relax from your shoulders to your elbows, to your wrists, to the tip of all 5 fingers. Feel the weight of your back melting into the surface beneath you. Your hips feeling heavy. Allowing your legs to relax from your hips to your knees, from your knees to your ankles, then to the tip of all 5 toes, both feet. Drawing your awareness back to your breath. Noticing your chest and belly gently rising with every inhale and falling with every exhale. Soft rising, gentle softening. I'll invite you to stay here for as long as you like. If you feel ready, maybe rolling to one side, taking a breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly sitting yourself up. There is no rush. If you want to stay lying down for longer, you are more than welcome to. I'm going to go ahead and close the class, bringing my hands together at my heart and bowing our head. May your day be happy, healthy, and filled with love. Thank you so much for joining me for this winter Time Yin.